Let's meet Papastratos General Manager, Mr. Themis Chasiotis, Head of Commercial Operations, who will talk to us about the role of big businesses in supporting SMEs. Hello, Mr. Metzelopoulos, Mr. Germentakis, thank you very much for the invitation. We heard recently about the initiative of Papastratos, Συνεχίζουμε μαζί. Could you tell us a few things about that? Well, the whole initiative is part of our agenda, and how can big businesses support SMEs? I think until recently we thought that they were rather competitive with each other. I think that via synergies we can do more. And I'm glad that Mrs. Diamantopoulou said something earlier to help me. When she talked about SMEs, she talked about the evolution in the kiosk sector in the 2020, mid-2020. Papastratos initiated a support program, Συνεχίζουμε μαζί, trying to assist all SMEs of our sector, meaning that we wanted to support the sales points of our company. So it was a program, support program. You supported the sales points, not your sales points, but businesses that operated beyond the structure of your company, but since they played a role in the distribution of your product, you assisted them. How did you do that? Well, these are our sales of point because we've been cooperating for more than 90 years with the retail sales, but you are not the only ones. They don't sell only Papastratos products, they sell products of other companies as well. An average kiosk sells more than 1,000 SKUs and has almost 30 to 50 suppliers. We have a program with three pillars of support. The first and the most important one has to do with support the liquidity of these businesses with 10 million euros via interest rate free credits. We offered businessmen capital interest rate free to purchase products in order to meet the needs of the consumers. The retailers pay off this amount without paying interest after they started gaining profit. So we have already distributed to the market more than 6 million euros to 5,500 new businesses. The second pillar of our support, do describe that. I will say something else about the other two pillars. The second pillar, which is medium term, has to do with the decrease of the operational cost of the businesses via synergies carried out via Papastratos and other companies in order to give special discounts in these retail businesses. What does that mean? We had a synergy with a mobile phone company offering lower prices for retail sellers. We have also special offers to upgrade their technology system, as Mrs. Diamantopoulou said earlier, because the small points of sale should be able to accept the challenges of the future, digitalization. And the third part, the third pillar, Okay, we are in the last mile of crisis. The state has assisted the businesses a lot, but I think that we can do more. We created an e-platform offering access to 11,000 small businesses, kiosks, etc., that can attend training courses that we have carried out with universities of our country having to do with business management, evaluation of the employees and digital marketing. How do I place myself in the internet? And we offer the opportunity for the retail sellers to have ads for free posted in the internet if they look for personnel. And of course, we have a different site regarding the new legislation for SMEs. Having knowledge of small retailers, what can you tell us about the future of small retailers? I think small retailers have a lot of advantages for the future, and since we are discussing, all of us, what physical presence and digital presence means beyond small retailers, I think that physical shops will exist. That is why I advise businessmen to think twice before closing their shops. In the new era, digital presence is sine qua non. All businesses with low-cost means can initiate their digital presence. And this is something that can operate in a complementary way to its business physical model. Both are needed. This moment, no one should quit the physical shop, because if we start offering services in a physical shop, we should continue doing that and not become impersonal. I think consumption expenses were 6.5 trillion euros, and the e-commerce accounted for less than that. I want to come back to this activity of Papastratos, this program of Papastratos, and I want to ask you, what should be the role of the size of Papastratos towards SMEs in the post-pandemic reality? I'm not a prophet. The question is excellent. In the company I work all these years, and the way we think, I think that companies of the size of Papastratos should be the leaders of developments, give solutions, but this is not a panacea. What we need to understand, all of us, in the days to come, the role that all businesses can play, and not only the 200 businesses that have a turnover of more than 50 million. The criteria have already changed. The big business, in my mind, is a business which is reliable. A big business is our beloved pastry shop in the neighborhood. and an e-shop with 10 employees with a million of consumers, or insurance advisor trusted by 10,000 families. So if everybody comes under this wider umbrella, we will have benefits for the society and the business. And this is the competitive edge of all of you in BNI, that you have an ability to combine things. Think big, because you are an international agency. You have criteria, selection criteria and extroversy for your members. You emphasize win-win relations. This is an exception for Greece, but at the same time, you operate as a small business, and this is a compliment, of course, meaning that you are agile, you are speedy, etc. So if in the new era we are experiencing, this is not the secret of success, what is it? And the big challenges for you?
Ναι, εγώ το βλέπω θετικά, το είπε ο κύριος.
As Mr. Korkidis said, I'm quite positive. I would say I'm optimistic and realistic in that way. I don't think things can go worse. I'm not gonna set that right out on stone, because we said the same thing after the financial crisis, and I think that there will not be a third crisis consecutively. I think we're entering an era in which we have to pay attention on growth. If there's a few things I can say about the coming period in the medium term, because we are now prophets. Every 6 months, as you know, we have to review and reconsider our plans. Sometimes we do it every 15 days. So the day after is, how will growth come up? I'm pretty sure that what you've done as business people, and the same thing we did ourselves, and we're great at that, we have to recalculate our costs and expenses. We have degrees on that. So no matter how much money will come tomorrow, following grants, subsidies, leveraging, or programs, my rationale is the following. I have to cover my survival requirements, and then invest them quickly on, let's say, fast-moving commodities, have an internet placement. This is one way to bring more clients. You have to recruit the right people, because now the marketplace is in a process of redefining itself. You may find better people to recruit, and you might get better training for yourselves if you have the time to spend. For me, this is the bond, the most reliable bond you can get, and the yield is the best you can get. Now, talking about digital presence, physical presence, we do have low-cost ways to enter the market, and talking once again about consumers. My take, my perception of the market, given the surveys we do, is that consumers will become smarter in the day after, more conscious about what they want, and more demanding. Simply enough, because in the previous period, consumers were too petty, let's say. Now, regardless of their age, their sex, the gender, the age group, the qualifications, they try to find the best value for money. They go on social media, they go online, and they can find what they want. And they have also redefined in their mind what high customer service means. So it's a great opportunity now for organizations to reintroduce ourselves, because the crisis is about to end. We're about to enter into normality. So we have to redefine our links with the end consumer. On the one hand, we have to take care of them as we used to, but now it's time to define the rules and the limits in these relationships. It's one way what we did in the pre-COVID era, another thing what we did during the COVID period, and another thing what we'll do after COVID is done. We have to, let's say, serve their needs to a maximum, but there has to be a limit to that. Because, and I know you've done that already, you won't be able to deliver stuff at 11 p.m. from now on until eternity. You did that, but this will stop. So you have to have the right communication plan in place, convey that to your people, to your employees, train them with that so that they can handle their customers in the day after, when the bar will be risen quite high. Thank you very much, Mr. Chasiotis. very useful insights, great lessons for us, and I think the lessons you provided us with were well targeted. Encouragement, advice to the SMEs, and of course to all businessmen, to all business people.